All right, we're live. Me and Hank here. It's weird. It's springtime, right? It's supposed to be spring, and we ended up getting snow last night. I only had a dusting, nothing really on the grass or anything. But Hank, you said you got what on the roofs and everything?
Yeah, I almost had an inch of snow.
Yeah, I just saw it on the windshield of the truck when I started up the truck. But other than that, it wasn't bad. But today we had a Toro, what's it called? Proline. Um, which is a 52-inch deck, 17 horse Kohler. It's like a Command Pro. Um, but the only thing it needed to tune up, the carburetor had been sitting for a while. It had been leaking fuel into the crankcase. So they put a fuel shutoff on it. Didn't tell me it was leaking into the crankcase. I, of course, left the fuel on. And when I went to go check it yesterday, there was a quart of fuel in the crankcase with 2 quarts of oil. So we drained that out, got that going. We tuned it up, and then the belts for this Pro Line mower, expensive. Just the two belts that drive the wheels. This is called a T-bar mower. So instead of having handles on it, you have a bar that's shaped like a T, and you push on each side of the bar instead of pulling on handles. So if you want to turn left, you push on the right bar. If you want to turn right, you push on the left bar. If you want to go straight, you push forward. So anyway, the two drive belts that go onto the wheels with the double V pulley belt, those are about $87 a piece just for those two belts. Then you got the deck belt is a dual belt or quad belt, if you will, that can rotate to use on both sides of the pulleys. That belt was like $70. So by the time we bought all five belts, it was around $300 plus. So it was, yeah, it was not cheap.
Yeah.
Um, so we
Check
did
to see
that.
if check to see if Klaus is in the basement because
Nobody's there yet. Nobody.
no
Nope.
because it's he's in the comments.
Yeah, no, nobody's in there.
Okay.
So anyway, so we got that going. The deck was pretty holy, if you will, with some holes in it and stuff, but he didn't want to fix that. So we sharpened up the blades. We dropped the deck. We cleaned it up. The idler wasn't even working. It was stuck from so much grass. It was literally locked in place. So I had to take the deck off of the unit, take the screws out of it to get the idler freed up. And then I forgot how the belt went back on. Thankfully, I was talking to Stella and Tom, and Stella found the picture online and sent it to me, and we figured it out. But it was weird because I had taken the belt off, but the belt they had on there was a John Deere belt, a 272 deck belt, which it's supposed to be a half-inch quad belt, and it was a John Deere single V belt, so I don't even know how the damn thing was working. Um, hold on, Klaus. I put in the WhatsApp. You didn't see in the WhatsApp? Stella's supposed to be here too. I sent her. Anyway, so we got that going. I called him up. He's going to be coming tomorrow, dropping off a Skag to get that tuned up. And then I had another customer about an hour ago dropped off another one. Marty, how you doing? Good to see you. Who else is here? Michael is here. Al is here. Let's see.
Archie,
Well, there's Klaus.
Al, how you
Hey.
doing, Al? Okay.
Yeah, well, when you put in the WhatsApp 7 minutes before go time, no, I don't watch it.
Oh, I didn't know if you were in the WhatsApp or not.
No, I'm not. Not.
Uh,
So, how are you guys doing?
well, like I said, it's supposed to be. Hey, Spark. It's supposed to be spring, and we got a little bit of snow today. Hank got more than I did, but
Snow.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
he got about an inch or so. I just got a dusting; it was gone by the time we got up. So
Hey, Al. Good evening.
It
everybody's
actually just
well,
stopped here maybe an hour ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Ah,
it was cold. I was working out in the driveway on this Toro Pro line, and it was about +1 Celsius, about 33 degrees. Oh man, it was cold. So, anywho, we got that straightened out. But this other mower I got in the backyard now, it's a Skag. It's got a Kohler, like a Command Pro vertical, but I think the automatic compression release is screwed up. He's got to get it to a point where it just passes the compression, then he can pull it. Because if it's on compression, it wants to rip it right out of your hand. And it's not a sheared flywheel because it runs great. So I just think the ACR is screwed up. So the engine on this Skag is the exact same engine on this Toro Pro line. So I'm going to do a compression test on the Pro line to see what the value is. Because normally around 60 or so when you have a ACR. There's Wayne. Hey, Wayne. So
Wayne.
normally about 60 psi or so when you have an ACR that's working, but this command on this other Skag, it'll literally rip your arm. I mean, it feels like the engine's locked up, but then you go past compression, it pulls fine. So I think the ACR is screwed up. He's been cranking because it doesn't have electric start, just pull start. So he's been cranking the thing by hand just past compression. And then if you give it a pull, it'll start.
Yeah,
But I
it could
think,
be the lobes on the cam themselves. It made the ACRs fine.
yeah.
It's just
Well,
the
remember
lobes
too
are.
on the Kohler commands, they're hydraulic lifters. There's really no
Oh,
adjustment.
okay.
Yeah, there's no. I wish there was, but there really isn't on
Yeah.
those. Oh, that's Stella. Oh, hello.
I finally figured it out. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Well,
So,
well, this YouTube is new to all of us, so
I
Yeah.
know, man. It kind of gets you sometimes.
let me see. TGM. Hey, Marty, how you doing? Or Mick, right? Mick is TGM.
Mick, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. It's weird. I had my surgery the other day, so now the tubes are in my ears, and like the past 20 minutes, you could hear my heartbeat in my ears, like loud. So it's like, oh, it's driving me nuts. I'm sitting there, I was like, doop, 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 doop.
That's crazy.
Oh, well, it's like loud too, Oh,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's
anyway,
high blood pressure
Right.
too. Like when you
yeah.
got high blood pressure, you can feel that in your
Well,
eardrum.
that's what it is. It's like if I run up the stairs real quick, it's like, boop, 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 boop. What the hell's going on? So anyway,
Greg has a question there for you,
why did
Kenny.
I go back? The only reason I'm back at StreamYard for now, Stella can help me because with StreamYard, this is still the free version, so it's only 6 people instead of 10. But Stella can help me. So if I'm downstairs working on something or outside, she can moderate as well as me. With the version I had of the other one of Restream, I'm still using it, but no one else can help unless I pay for the next up, which is like another $150 a year. So that's the reason for this. I'll go back and forth, but at this point, we were getting a lot of people on and topics were going all over the place, and it wasn't really dealing with small engines. So we just want to keep it on topic and just go from there. That's the only reason why.
And basically, Greg, he's saying that Hank, Klaus, and myself are useless as moderators.
Well, no, you guys want to moderate. God bless you. But Stella
Well,
offered. Well, no, I could only assign one extra moderator.
no, you see, I
Stella's
can
it. She's
do
the bomb.
everything that Kenny can do on the live stream except start it
shut
and
it off.
stop it. But
Yeah.
I can bring up comments. I can present things. I can do everything that I can change the background. I can do all kinds of
She
crazy
could
things.
bring you up, or she could shut you down.
Anything you can do better.
That's right. Except, yeah. So, but I mean, that's what having and I think they call it like a collaborator or something like that. But
Yeah.
but it helps because if you're busy doing something, somebody else can bring comments up and down and whatever. So that's all. Because it's a
Well,
lot
anyway.
to look at in one place. I can tell you that if you're trying to run a stream and
Oh, yeah. So anyway, I'm busy as heck, and I still got to do my taxes tonight and get those done. They're due in a few days, and there's a lot going on. A lot going on. A lot of it's mowing season, but then we had snow, so it's like, what the hell?
I
It's
know.
crazy.
I thought I was going to be warm out here, but I've already put my heater up under the bench,
Yeah.
because I was trying to calibrate some torque wrenches the other day, and I was stumbling over the heaters. I get this thing out of here. It's going to be warm for the rest of the
Now,
time.
Stella, you bought
not.
one of those digital calibrator. What'd you buy?
Well, what I had was and I wrote this down. I bought this one like 15 or 16 years ago. This goes from 30 to sorry about that, 148 foot-pounds, and it's kind of old school cool, if you know what I mean. The display is not that great, but it wouldn't fire up the other day. So I did clean the contacts. So now this one actually works now. But I found another one to be able to calibrate my like my 1/4 inch wrench.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is a little guy. He goes from sorry, I don't knock everything out. He goes from 3 to 99 foot-pounds. So I can really take a look at my 1/4 inch torque wrench.
Now, how accurate are they supposed to be? Like 4 or 5%?
These are within 2% supposedly.
Oh wow!
But come to find out, my 1/4 inch torque wrench, which is what I use most often, was way off the mark. So I was able to calibrate it properly and get it together.
Now, didn't Tom have a video on weights? You using weights to calibrate?
Yeah, he used just a lever arm principle to do everything.
I think a small channel called Hobby Motor did that way back when.
Oh yeah.
Right, but the
Yeah,
problem
man.
is that only works.
Hobby who?
Yeah, I know. It's small.
Well, no, not now that, and
Yeah.
those that don't know it, if you want to watch Klaus's videos, you can caption it, go to the settings, hit English, and actually enjoy the video and know what he's saying. So I'm enjoying it.
Only on a PC and a laptop, right?
Yeah. It won't work on a phone, but you have to be on like a device. Yeah.
So what Tom was showing are the type of torque wrenches that have like a little cover or a rubber bung on here. Okay,
Yeah.
I think this one is under this cap right here, and that's great. But the torque wrenches I have and the ones that were so out of, or the one that was so out, was this little guy right here. Sorry, let me pull this out. This is a gear wrench that I bought several years ago. And the way this had to come apart is I actually had to get a heat gun out and pull off the the grip. And what's behind there is actually I can show it to you on another larger one. Because I bought another cheap torque wrench to keep in the car. Something that I don't care about if I lose it or break it or whatnot. This is the one that has, which is like my which is like the gear wrench one, but what's inside of there, I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to see it or not, is there's a it's gonna be kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can get some light in there. I don't have a good light right here. Because all my flashlights are somewhere else.
There's adjustable in there, yeah. And actually the most important thing is that you get yourself a kilo or a pound of something that's pretty accurate.
Right.
And then
but you don't have to do that with one of these little guys. Just put it in the vise and poof.
Yeah. Assuming that one is correct.
Right.
Yes. And I assume this one, can you see? Oh yeah. Okay. I turned on a light so you can sort of see there is there's an Allen key right there.
Yep.
A hex screw, and then there's like a lock nut underneath it. So this is really easy. You put in, you have to put in a nut.
So
and
you loosen the nut, turn the set screw, and that's how you do your adjustment.
Turn the set screw. And what I discovered is you have to turn the set screw anti-clockwise to increase the torque. It didn't make any sense. I had to go all the way the other way to figure it out. So anyway, yeah. So like I said, I bought this cheapie to keep in the van with me. Rather than taking, this is the $35 torque wrench.
Lug nuts on the van?
Huh?
For lug nuts on the van or what?
Yeah, or anything else that I need to do. I figured this was easier and only $35, where this guy was like $125. So, I don't need to do that. So
cool.
I mean,
but yeah, it was
honestly, if you buy yourself a quality torque wrench, you don't need to calibrate it. But the cheap ones, definitely.
Dude,
I mean,
these were right. This is right on the money. I was shocked. Absolutely shocked. It was brand new. So anyway.
Sometimes they're not.
Yes. Which is why I like having the digital
You got
gauge.
to remember to loosen them when you're done with them.
Yeah, definitely. Don't believe them if you're loaded.
To take them back down to their lowest setting.
Right.
Because you can just unscrew them right off the end if you're not careful.
Yeah, they'll take a set otherwise. Yeah.
But if I'm trying to torque something down, this little torque adapter is great, but it's bulky. It's like using, you're all of a sudden, it's like you're using a socket with a 4-inch thick head, when you put this guy on here,
Yeah. Have you This time of year though, Stella, have you gotten any customers asking about equipment or no?
Oh no, I got a lawnmower out there. My neighbor brought me one. Yeah, they're trickling in. The only I'd say within the last week has the grass been growing so that people want to mow it right now. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, like I said, they've been cutting a little. It depends on who fertilized. You get the people that really fertilize the crap out of them. Yeah, it's growing now, but for the most part, it's not really growing here.
Right.
Yeah.
The sun comes out
Rototiller
and you
time.
listen to it grow.
John's working on a
How you
tractor.
doing, John?
Let's see who else is here. Mr. Clement is here. Mr. Roberts. What's he
I
saying?
got to remember the comments go in the opposite direction on StreamYard than Restream.
From China for the boys over the. No,
Yeah,
can't do it.
no, that won't help
Can't do it.
much.
I just,
Won't
as a matter of fact, it's funny he should ask that question. I just watched something on the ports in China, and I guess something like 90% of the air shipments have been eliminated in China to the U.S., and 50% of the boats that are launching out of the harbors with all those containers have been canceled as of right now. So they're saying that the shipping containers in these ports in China are just loaded. And the one guy came on and said, I can't even ship it to Canada because it's called, even though Canada and the US are like not the same, but he said something about it being a one shipping line. So it goes through the States and then it gets trucked into Canada. So he
Right.
says he can't even ship to Canada.
No,
Oh,
no, because whenever you want to transport goods from one country to another, you have to fill in that little box that says country of origin,
Yeah.
Right.
and that's what counts.
So basically, what I got to tell everybody out there that's watching, share this comment and just let the whole world know that by Trump putting 145% tariff on China, he has helped climate change because they're shutting down their factories, the
I
boats
thought
aren't
this was
moving,
a,
the planes aren't flying.
I thought
And
this was a
listen, everybody's been
non-political
trying to
channel.
fix the climate.
I thought it
Donald
was a
Trump did it just
non-political
with
channel.
145% tariff. Hey, it's going to start to cool down.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
and
Well,
and it was interesting. One of our famous Canadian, I don't know what you call the guy, Jordan Peterson. If you've never heard of him or you've never watched him on YouTube, the
Yeah,
guy's
he's kind of
fantastic.
controversial.
Yeah, he said if you think about it, more people die from the cold than they die from heat. So he doesn't believe in climate change. He says he says if we fix it too much, he says we're all going to die because it's going to get too cold. And he said the world is getting greener because there's more carbon dioxide.
can we get back to whatever makes grass grow so we can get some mowers running?
Well,
That's right.
grass ain't growing over here yet. It's still too cold.
No, I'm doing my second cut tomorrow.
Like we're getting a lot of equipment in because people are trying to fire them up, and guess what? They're
Yeah,
not
that's what
starting.
Gary's saying right here. He said they wait till the last minute, and then they want you to drop your drawers and just, I'm here.
I
It's
need
like,
it by tomorrow because I got a foot of grass.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's like the guy in September that says, "Yeah, man, this generator was running last week."
Yeah, right.
No, it
10 years
wasn't.
ago, maybe.
I,
okay,
I,
my
I,
dealer.
I got a job in today that is actually one of the good ones. The guy has a 25-year-old push mower with a Briggs Quantum engine on it, and he inherited it from his dad, who had it from new. He brings it over and says, "I kind of want this mower to run. Can you just make that happen?"
Yeah.
And then he takes off.
I kind of want it to run.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
weird.
he wants to. He wants to.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, he wants to. But
it's
it's one of
what
the old. It's one. It's good. It's an old. It's 25 years old. It's a Briggs Quantum with a PTO for the drive, and I told him, you know what, it's gonna be the. Don't worry, I got this from my dad. He passed away early this spring. I want this mower to run. I said, no problem. I'll make it run.
Yeah.
but it's one of the good ones. He doesn't care. I mean, and I'm not going to take advantage of that. But he doesn't care.
Yeah.
He wants that mower, and it's a really old one. And there's a couple of parts on it that you can't get anymore because Husqvarna decided in their infinite wisdom not to supply them anymore. So there's a couple of things you got to. But still, it's a nice job. It's a good job. I'm going to make a video on it. It's yeah, it's a nice mower, and it's an all aluminum deck, and he just wants it spick and span and ready to go, and he wants to run that thing for another 25 years. And if anything can do that, it's the Brooks Quantum. So
Yeah. The guy that dropped off this Skag a little while ago, it is so covered in oil. But the thing is, but to do it right though, I'd have to take off the top, take off the flywheel, look at I mean,
yeah,
he's like, "Oh, can I have it Monday?" It's like it's
no,
Saturday afternoon.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
so
You can have
I'll get right
you,
on that.
well, I said to him, I said,
you
seriously,
can have it Monday, but does it need to run?
well, here's the thing. He says he thinks a tune-up is going to solve the automatic compression release issue. No, it has
Ooh,
nothing to do with the
no.
tune-up.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna, like I said, I have the exact same mower in the driveway with that Pro line, exact same engine. So I'm gonna do a compression test on that engine. Should be around 60 or so with the ACR, and I'm gonna see what this one does. And if this one's 130, I'm gonna say, look, your call.
Get it
And
over
rotate
six,
that
800
flywheel
RPM.
by hand off the compression stroke and then pull it, because that's what he was doing. I'm looking at him like he's got it down to a science. He goes right past the compression stroke and then he pulls it. I
Yeah.
did on a compressor stroke. Holy shit! I thought my arm was going to fall off. It was like the engine's locked up. I'm like, no. This ACR is bad.
How old is it?
Probably 90s.
And it's never had its valves adjusted.
There's no adjusting on those. Those are hydraulic valves with the hydraulic lifters
Ooh,
and a command.
ooh,
Yeah, they don't have the adjustment. You just
yeah,
torque them. But the
yeah.
thing is, even like Hank says, the lobes could be worn, but it runs beautifully. Once it starts, it runs. So I just think the ACR is bad. Now, what I do have also, I did buy a camera. The fiber optic with the real
Yes.
tiny lens.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about going in there and doing a little investigation to see if I could see a broken spring or a broken tab, or that's what I got to do.
Can I make a
Or-
suggestion for you, Kenny?
Sure.
Practice on something else until you get used to how that thing does that.
Mm.
Because I literally,
Yeah.
I thought I had it. I tried to turn over the engine and I snapped off the camera.
Get
One
out.
of mine. It was like
Yeah, this is the one like the inch
came
one
out
where
like
it goes 180
flopping around
degrees.
like that. So just
Yeah.
make sure before you try to turn that engine over, you know which way you're going there.
Wow.
Because I wound up out the exhaust port by accident, and it was like a guillotine.
yeah.
Cut that thing right
Ooh.
off. Yes, it was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, I got the one that Tom has, which is a very very small diameter.
Yes.
And Scott also bought the same one, Greasy Shop Rag, because you can literally go into, if you had an Echo trimmer, you could take off the air cleaner cover, the tapped hole for the air cleaner cover. If you open up your throttle, you can go through that tapped hole into the cylinder and down into the engine.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
how small the diameter is on this one. It's pretty small.
Mine has it's a little it's not bigger in diameter. It's quite small, but it's longer. But it has 3 lenses in the front
Right.
Yeah.
and 2 on the side. And all if you use one on the side, all you have to do is just turn it,
Yeah.
Yes.
and
Yeah.
you get it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And you can
Mine is
repair
real
it.
old. It's a snap-on like that. It's got a straight camera and a one
Ooh, mine
just
is
under
a
one
snap-
side.
Mine is a snap-on.
No. I bought it when it was 10 years old already, and I bought it
All
10.
right.
So it's a 25-year-old snap-on
All right,
borescope.
there's
So
a snap-on.
it's
Yeah.
like I think it's like 320.
Yeah. When they first came out, they were
Really awful resolution, you know.
Yeah, but it works. It
Yeah,
does.
it works. It works
does.
for me. That's all I
Oh.
got.
Yeah,
Still
I only
works.
have one snap-on tool, and Al McLean sent it to me.
Oh,
How about
cool.
The
Nice.
nice thing about this one too is you could actually submerge it in the oil, then come up through.
Yes.
So
Yes.
cool.
Mine,
Yeah, but
mine,
you're going to drain the oil first, right?
I'm going to, but you don't have to. This you
No.
can go through it because Condon did it where he actually went through the oil, came back
Yep.
out, and
I
you can
think I
see.
saw that video.
And
Yeah.
how's the lens look after the oil?
No, it'll drain off. It just may have a little tint to it if the oil's dark,
Yeah,
but other than that,
Right.
because
I
Condon actually saw the broken tab and spring off of an ACR in a
Yeah.
Predator engine.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So actually, no, it wasn't broken. It
Okay,
was
sorry,
stuck.
Al.
The ACR was stuck. The actual ACR assembly, it would like stick, go back forth. So.
Hmm.
Oh man! So what? EP, what are you guys doing over there? Are you busy or what's going on?
Riding mowers are coming in,
Yeah,
pressure washers,
good times.
generators,
Yeah.
push mowers, self-propelled lawn mowers. Jake's got the week or 2 weeks pretty well booked up.
Wow.
Mm.
Yeah, and then a couple of commercial two-stroke lawnmowers that a guy wants to get running because he just enjoys the two-stroke. He says they're very old, but the ones with the big orange gas tank on the top.
What, the old lawn boys?
Yeah, the old lawn
Oh
boys,
yeah,
the
those
old
are
commercial
expensive. They're
units.
not cheap.
No,
They're
no, no. They're nice machines. Nice
yeah,
machines.
yep. They make those now. I think doesn't Exmark and they only make one. Toro and Exmark make one similar to that now
I don't
with the
know.
two stroke. They still make the two stroke, like with the Suzuki engine. It was very very expensive.
But most of what we're finding is, in most cases, carburetors not only got the jellied ethanol in it, but water, and
Yeah,
it's hard to tell. But in a lot of cases, you're finding more water in ones when we ask, "Where do you store this?" The people that say they store them in their garage, it doesn't have to be heated.
yeah.
Uh, if they've got any moisture in there, it's minimal, so it's likely from the ethanol
Oh,
absorbing it. But the people that are storing them in sheds where the temperature is varying in the
Up and
winter and
down.
that, yeah,
Yeah.
it's the condensation, it's more water, and it's a combination of ethanol absorbing water and just pure condensation from temperature changes.
yeah, yeah. I did three two stroke pieces of equipment about a month ago, and all three literally were 50 to 70% water that was in the tank
Right.
because he had it in a shed for a year.
And the other half of that equation is the gas can that they use to go to the service station to get gas in it. I
You
call
know,
them service stations, gas station. Um, that's got 2-year-old gasoline in it. And they don't ever empty that out. They just keep putting good gas into bad gas, and it just sort of snowballs.
And then sometimes those jerry cans got water in them too from it
yeah,
sitting.
Hmm.
Because how many people have you seen if you go to the customer's house? Like if we're going to do a pickup, we ask to look at their jerry can. So we'll show them on the inside all the dirt and debris that's inside. And a lot of them don't have the vent cap closed, and a lot of them don't leave the plug inside the spout because
Right.
it's easy. So here it is, you know, atmosphere allowed to go into that fuel, and it's 10% ethanol. It's just sucking water.
yeah.
The worst ones are the ones that comes from farms. Because I
Well,
don't know what they do. Sometimes I think they use them for gas, then for diesel, then for water, and then back to gas.
Yeah.
They have no.
I think I think this is the best thrift store find I ever got. I think I paid $10 for this. Got a good old rubber stopper there,
Yeah.
all metal. Another little stopper there.
I'm using those. I think they're made in Canada actually. Red
I think so.
plastic with a plastic spout with a breather, so
Yes.
it doesn't burp.
Right.
Those are the only thing is that the spout goes into the tank, which is
Yes.
makes a bit of a mess when you take it out, but it's still a good gas can, and you can close it so when you transport in your car doesn't stink of gas
Yeah.
Right.
3 days later. It's a really good gas can.
We use the no spill gas tanks. And Kenny, I think you did a video on it, didn't you? Where you changed the O ring because they do.
Yeah, because Tom had an issue. We were joking because there was a girl who was the representative for the No Spill company. No Spill Jill was her name.
Right.
And anyway, Tom and I were together, and we each had like a container. I had a beaker, a big beaker, and I said, "Let's see if mine works." And I put it in there, and it overflowed. Like, oh my god!
Yeah.
And then
Because
Tom,
the O rings eventually go
yeah,
in
the
that
O-ring
nozzle.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Brucey's here. Hey, Bruce.
Oh, I can't see
Bruce,
that. Ah.
Bruce,
That's
Bruce,
How you
is,
doing, guys?
Stella, do me a favor. Take over. I'm going to grab a quick cup of tea. I'll be right back.
All right. All
Bruce,
right.
is that a new YouTube channel? I've
Bruce
heard
is
I've heard rumors on the internet that it's is it Mexican?
Yes,
I've heard,
Juan Deere.
yeah,
Bruce is still using his snowblower.
hi
No,
Bruce.
no. The ground is still frozen in
Ground
places.
snow. It's going to be frozen for a while, isn't it? In Alberta.
Well, we've actually had no snow for about 3 weeks.
I had snow, an inch of it last
I
night.
heard that. Yeah, and
Right.
I heard Ontario's had a terrible time with people losing their electricity.
Yeah,
Yes.
ice storm, but more
Yeah.
northern Ontario than southern.
Right. Well, I call Timmins Western Ontario because it's west of you. Oh yeah, it's all fun, right? So yeah, we're
So
doing.
Bruce,
Yeah, we're home. Been home for a week today.
yeah, and is it good to be home, or is it
Well,
nice to see the tools again? And
no, I've only all I've done out there is had my happy hour on Wednesday.
I love it.
a good one.
But I had to look at Trudy's car because, oh my God, it's the ambient temperature sensor.
Right.
That just doesn't happen to show you the temperature on the dash. That thing
Oh.
is connected to the computer, and the computer runs the air conditioning. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
I know it's like, and that car's 15 years old.
Yeah.
Imagine what the new ones do.
Well, where
I-
is the sensor? Is it underneath the car, so it's near the
It's
pavement?
in very front of the car, in front of the air conditioning condenser.
Gotcha. Okay.
Weird, huh?
I mean, I was putting in sprinkler fluid, washer fluid, in my car the other day, and I sort of have a sort of an objective look at the engine bay. I said, "Okay, Klaus, you're no dummy to mechanics. How much do you recognize here?" I was
Right.
like, "Nope, nope."
Yeah.
I have
There's
no
way
idea.
too many wires, way too many sensors. Yeah.
When I got the car, for some reason, Toyota decided that that engine plastic cover,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they done away with it.
Oh, that's
So when
good
I
because it makes hot.
Well, I don't know. Well, when I looked into the engine bay, I was like, this is stressing me out. Yeah. So I went over to the spare parts department. Said, "Can I get an engine cover for that?" They go, "No, that Toyota doesn't make it for that. It doesn't exist." So okay, how about Lexus? Yeah, Lexus makes one. It's the same engine. Can I have one of those,
Great. Can I
please?
have a Lexus one?
So I have a Lexus one.
Oh,
I have a $500 electric one.
That's right.
Plastic. No, I mean,
oh,
guys, you look into your engine bay, and all you see is a gazillion wires that you have. That is just stress to me. Let's
Yeah.
cover it up.
so get this
There we
one,
go.
right?
Now it's gone.
No. So I'm the mechanic. I'm going to fix this. It's just a variable resistor that activates on changing temperature.
Yep. Yeah.
So Uncle Bruce gets in there and he's crawling around and he's farting around. My dear wife goes on YouTube
Uh-huh.
and she says, "Well, if we actually change the air conditioning at the same time we do the activation or something with there's two knobs." So the next day she goes for a ride and it's 14 outside Celsius, and it says it's 14 on the dash. But the confusing part is when you bring it into the garage, it's 7 degrees inside the garage, and the fail safe is 7 degrees on the
Ah.
right. So you have to take it for a ride, and it's okay now. No fix by me.
Your wife. Hey, Bruce, hold on. Let me get this straight. You had a car problem, and your wife fixed it. Trudy fixed
Oh
it
no,
by going onto YouTube.
she's observational.
Shocking.
I'm
You
transactional, and
need
she's observational.
you need to restrict her access to YouTube. That's simple
No,
as
I
that.
don't. She saved me a lot of work. And probably if we'd have taken it into Kia, can you imagine?
Yeah.
Mr. Pender, we had to dismantle the entire car to change that 32-cent resistor.
Yeah. Oh, by
Where's
the way, and you also need a new battery.
Oh, that was
Where's
done
the
the
old
same.
Clement
That was the
from?
same day.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's what started the whole shit show. Pardon me, the feces show.
yeah.
Bill, I don't know where you are, but it's like 4.25 here on the East Coast.
Yeah, $2.99 is a good price for no ethanol fuel.
That is an awesome price.
unless you
That's a
live in
great price.
Uganda, and it's Uganda dollar. So,
Yeah,
Yes,
but
we're running
that's
a
right.
dollar. We're running $1.40 a liter now, and that's low.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
$1.25 in Ontario
for
for 87.
Right.
that's a good price.
That is a
We
good price.
run we
For
run
us.
about $2 a quart here.
Well, the
Yeah.
present prime minister took the carbon tax off on the consumer side, but he went and doubled it on the
On the business side.
manufacturer side. So we're still paying it,
Oh
but a
yeah.
Yeah,
lot
but
of
you can't
people
see
don't.
it.
They don't. Yeah, they don't understand that, eh?
Oh well.
Well, I'm still miffed that they distill this fuel. They make this fuel and then they add something to it, but now I got to pay more for the fuel that they didn't add something to. I don't get it.
Well, that's
Right.
like when they had unleaded gasoline.
That's politics because they want to drive down their CO2 footprint.
Right.
And when you are very unconscious of the environment, Stella, and buy regular gas with no ethanol in it, I mean, you're
That's better
basically
for the environment.
you're the one ruining the world if you ask the
Yeah,
politicians. You're the one.
Thank you.
You're the one.
I
You're the
will.
one.
I'll claim that. I'll. Yeah.
So you've got all these huge tractors in the Midwest and in Western Canada
Yes.
mining this corn out of the soil, right?
yeah.
And then they stick it in your car engine, and all of that energy that was spent to make that corn could have been used to, grow food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm.
get this here. Right in the gas
Food?
station, I cannot get ethanol-free diesel or fuel.
Diesel?
Oh, sorry, diesel or gas.
Well, you had me
So,
going there.
but if you're a farmer and you buy farming diesel and farming gasoline,
You can get no ethanol.
there's no ethanol in it. It's
Yeah.
dyed because
It's dyed, and that's
Yeah.
why they dye it.
Yeah.
Same thing
but
here.
but,
Yeah,
but they
purple
don't
fuel.
put ethanol in it. So the suckers make it, but they don't get to use it.
Now, it used to be called purple
Yeah.
fuel. Is it now pink fuel?
Yeah, red fuel,
Red fuel.
green. Actually, over here it's green, but that doesn't matter. It's the same thing.
That's
It's,
what they do. They dye the kerosene at the gas station down here.
Well,
It's red.
Yeah.
Um.
And
Okay,
believe it
so
or
I
not,
drive around
in
in
some-
rural Alberta and Canada for
yeah, and
I don't
over
know,
here,
68 years, and I've only been checked for farm fuel in my truck once.
Really.
Yeah.
over here, they even put in an isotope. So if you
Ooh.
use the fuel, 6 months later, they can still make a test.
Oh, you glow in the dark.
Yeah.
No,
Wow.
not that kind of isotope, but
Oh.
they can still test. They can still test the fuel system and get a positive
Right.
if you used it
Right.
6 months ago.
Yeah, but Bruce,
like-
how did they test it, Bruce? How did they actually test
They
it?
Oh,
stick
well, back then they actually just did a tube. You know, we all didn't have screens on our
Yeah.
inlets.
Yeah.
They put a putty on the end of a stick and they put it there, pull it out, and it's a different color.
Yeah.
Plus,
I
have-
all you say is I loaned my
have-
car out, my nephew filled it up with fuel.
Right.
I actually have water putty, something
It's
you
your
put on the end of a
responsibility.
stick and stick it into a tank. If there's water at the bottom,
Yeah.
you just call it.
Okay, I bought a truck from my farmer cousin, right? Nice little truck. But he had a 40-gallon slip tank in the back, and he put purple in that one, and he put regular fuel in the onboard tank. So whenever a cop would pull him over because they knew him, it's a small town, he would just flip the switch on and he'd say, "Well, yeah, there's farm fuel in that one, and there's regular fuel in that one. What are you gonna do?" Because he's, one day he's hauling cows, and the next day he's taking the wife into town.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, hello everybody.
Hey, Bruce.
Hello.
It's
So
good.
Bruce
And
here.
Bruce, it's good to have you back, buddy. It really is.
Oh yeah, boy, we weren't really ready to come back. The day before, we're like packing our suitcases, going,
Hmm. Huh.
You can't do much here yet, right?
Any snow still up there, Bruce?
Just on the north side of the garage in the lane or alley. It's just ice, where it always goes.
When do you start? Because my potatoes has already poked through.
I think if I stuck a shovel in the ground, I'd hurt my knee because it wouldn't go in.
Right.
Well, your frost is till what, May?
Our frost, it'll be from now until May. It changes every year. Like right now, we've actually had a little bit of rain and some heat. So it might, in most places it's probably thawed.
Yeah.
People say unthaw, but most places it's thawed.
Yeah, thawed. Yeah. No, but it's yeah. Mine just poked the little greeny thing through the.
Really?
Yeah. But
I'm jealous.
I'm a little I'm out a little early. So if there's anyone just saying the word frost, I'm out there covering it with a sheet
No,
or something.
not a
Do it.
potato. You shouldn't have to cover a potato,
Well, they don't like frost. They singe.
but they're in the ground.
I
We
know,
don't start
but
planting over
the
here in
leaves
southern
the leaves
Ontario until June
the
1st,
leaves will the leaves
Well,
will
we do it on the May long.
yeah.
the
Yeah,
day
usually here
before.
it's Memorial Day, the end of May.
Yeah, used to, but we've had frost here, and a lot of
Yeah.
times we just said, you know what? Instead of taking a chance for that 1 week, wait until June the 1st. And
Well, here's how I do it. In early May, I put in the big seeds in the potatoes, like peas, beans, potatoes, and then the little stuff that's closer to the surface, like carrots and basil and all that. I don't plant basil by seed, but we leave that until May because you can, a frost with a clear night, we can get -4, which is
yeah,
29, 28.
It'll cinch it. Yeah.
Now, Brucey, do you till all your soil every year or no?
Well, I think I live in a different world than Klaus does because if I don't till my garden, it sucks.
Yeah.
So now the whole world runs on low till. If a
Yeah,
farmer's using,
let me ask you though, when you say till though, are you mixing in nutrients or just breaking it up?
I usually do both.
Okay.
And
But
this
that's
is
amazing, Bruce. You've
yeah.
been doing that for years and years, putting in compost and stuff.
Sometimes I
That's
put in compost. I always have compost because of that really big
yeah,
black thing up there.
yeah.
yeah.
But the older I get, the less that has in it because I get lazy.
Ah. I buy a big bag, about 2 or 3 cubic meters of composted horse
Compost.
manure, and I mean, I'm telling you, I get earthworms that eat that
Yeah.
they're this long, and that's between the eyes.
So I think what happens here, Klaus, is it's so cold that the worms go way down,
Yeah, must be,
right?
yeah.
And then so I can easy, easy, and so I till that, and I don't think it hurts the worms because by June it's just worms everywhere.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I think it's
But that
different.
that compost stuff,
Yeah.
holy moly, it
Well, my
makes
own personal compost works great too. So,
yeah, it does.
Well,
But
this will be
I was
my
thinking
first year for my leaf compost.
pardon me.
so if you keep putting that stuff in year after year after
Yeah,
year, you must have a pretty good soil.
and it's even better on that tomato bed that's up against the garage facing south. Anything you can get that's facing south is like going south 400 miles.
Right.
And that my tomatoes and my carrots and lettuce and all that is over on the vegetable side by the
Yeah.
garage, which is
Okay.
warmer.
Unless you got sandy soil, I could compost every year. But you know what? Sandy
Yeah,
soil, it just drains it all out.
yeah, it just eats, it leaches it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
But you
issue
know,
is I have critters. I have like hedgehogs and all that.
Oh, yeah, we don't have that.
They'll decimate anything I plant.
We don't have rats,
but
but we have
if
lots
you
of
have
mice.
if you have sandy soil, it's a good idea to put in a clay product.
Yeah, I know, but you can also hit the magic recipe for concrete if you do that.
That's right.
Yeah. No, I mean the clay you buy for soil improvement, it's like little.
Yeah,
I think they bake them.
So
So they
is that like a bentonite product? A bentonite
yeah, I've
alloy,
used that.
something like
like
that. Yeah,
granules or
yeah.
something?
And you put that in, and it slowly breaks down
Hmm.
into, almost like a sandy type of thing. But it's really good for sandy
So
soil.
I took your advice 2 years ago, Klaus, and I never tilled. Right, the great stalwart
Yeah.
tiller,
Oh yeah. The stalwart.
stalwart, and I had a garden that wasn't successful.
Okay.
Can't say the other word.
Okay.
A lot of gardeners here in southern Ontario mix peat moss into their dirt.
Yes, that's okay if you have an alkaline soil because peat
Yeah.
moss is slightly
The
acidic.
only disadvantage to mixing in peat moss is if you got anybody that smokes cigarettes and they throw one into your garden, you got a peat fire and it doesn't want to
Exactly.
go out.
I'm just
Oh,
going to Google
yeah.
it. Peat moss is either acidic or.
It's acidic.
Yeah, it's acidic.
Thank you.
Acidic because it goes really well with rhododendrons and
Yeah.
Right.
and blueberries and stuff. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
naturally
that's
acidic.
what I had to put in when I put in 6 blueberries
Yep.
that side.
Yeah. Yeah.
and
But
they're doing really well. I've just only now learned. This is like the 5th year I've had them, or 6th year. I've really only learned to prune them, the time and the good way to prune them. They're just like lush, thick
yeah, yeah,
bushes
yeah,
covered in little blueberry blossoms.
yeah,
I
yeah.
So
think you pay the rabbits over here to prune my bushes because I plant them this big and they're always down to the ground.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, we
well,
don't
rabbits,
have.
they chew on that. Oof.
Oh, we are now getting large mule deer into town, and those
yeah,
bills almost chewed my new tree, or he actually rutted it with his horns right down to the freaking stump.
right.
Oh, I was upset. So now we had a professional true pruner, yeah, come in and
Tree
do it.
pruner.
Yeah, and then I
An
put chicken
arborist.
wire around. I put chicken wire around the base.
Additive, additive. Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
So yeah, we are looking forward to getting out there and doing some gardening.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
is nice. It's a nice time of year. It really is. I mean,
But I'm getting a new eye next Wednesday. I'm getting a
say,
cataract done, my last one.
Ooh,
oh,
good.
Yeah, it is good. Had a
Get it
tooth
over with.
pulled last week. That didn't go good. So I got a sinus infection. Worked its way all the way around.
Oh,
Yikes.
Anything to do with teeth, everybody goes, ew.
so you got an eye cold?
Yeah,
Wow.
right here.
That happens.
It does.
Yeah. It does. It does. It does.
All that stuff is connected.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
And from the lower jaw, Stella, not the upper jaw. It worked its way up.
Oh, really? Wow.
Oh, that's me. I got the roots. I got roots on my teeth that go right into my sinuses. Right.
Yikes. I've had it go from top to bottom and get infected, but not the
Yeah.
other way
I
around.
will say I've had an eye operation once where they went up the nose and breached through, and ever since that, that nostril is never clogged. I don't know why, but it's
That
not.
explains a lot, Klaus.
a big hole.
Huh? Maybe they poked it the wrong way. Yeah,
Whatever.
but no, it's true. I mean, I had that, and they poked through the nostril wall into the under the eye, and
Thanks, Ray.
and since then, when I have a cold, the left nostril is never clogged. It's really
Just
nice.
Ray,
drains.
you got a picture of that hydroponic? I'd be interested. You see sometimes where it's hanging in midair, the hydroponic ones.
Didn't you just have an operation on your drainage system in your
I
head?
had
Yeah.
I have two
Kenny,
semi-permanent tubes in my
Kenny, when
ears.
they needed to calibrate the brain scanner, and they needed a dead zero.
So
So Kenny went in, and it's now calibrated. I'm sorry, Kenny. Go ahead.
You guys are
Sorry.
bad.
Sorry.
oh, you guys actually locked up for a second. I didn't hear the last 3-4 seconds.
Just to let Michael know, you can tell when the cow manure is being spread on the farmer's fields.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Hopefully, the wind is blowing in the opposite direction of where you live.
And
Well,
when
we
they
have a
stir,
heavy feeder system west, but they put this feeder lot west of town,
when
and
they
the
stir
wind
the
is always
slurry,
from the west.
yeah.
Gee.
when they stir the slurry tanks,
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Mhm.
oh,
yeah. Hard
And
to
then they feed
breathe
them. They
sometimes.
feed them silage, right, which is stinky in itself.
How about those guys at work where they have the pigs inside and they got squeegees? They're just squeegeeing the poop.
Oh,
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
Yeah, I think
That-
it's probably
that-
more
that-
automated here now. We've got a lot of
that-
pigs here.
that's money right there. It's money. Mm-mm.
now
Over
here's
here, over here, they have a lot of the manure goes into biogas plants
Right.
where they extract the gas from. I
Yeah.
don't know what
Ethane, methane, wetsane.
something. Yeah, and when they then get the slurry back, it doesn't smell as bad. It
Of
actually
course.
doesn't smell. Which is kind of nice because right now I mean, you see those tractors with those big tank things on, and if you get behind one of those in your car, you better hit recirculate real fast, so it's gonna get
Yep.
stinky.
So we are going to be putting in less corn and less pumpkins this year because I do actually want to grow a few more vegetables, just because things are becoming a little weird out there. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Onions.
we're
You can
getting a
never
lot
have.
of the
You can
new
never
ri-
have enough onions.
That's right. You're absolutely right. You grow 100 and you need 150. If you grow 150, you need 200.
Yes, sir. That's how it is. And garlic. I'm doing garlic again this year, and they are looking.
I've struggled with garlic because it bunches up and I'm having a hard time getting it to grow in individual plants. Might be what I'm using.
I'm buying bulbs. You
Yeah.
know, you buy a whole clove of garlic, and then you break it up, and you
Mhm.
just I
I've
just
got
stick
Yeah.
it. I stick
I've
them
got
in
volunteer
October,
bunch garlic all over the yard.
Yep.
yeah, and I stick them in October, and they stay there over winter,
That would be
and then they
nice.
come up, and then in August,
Hey, Paul.
harvest time. Hey, Paul.
Now, for riding mowers, have you guys been getting the newer riding mowers with the glass mat batteries in them, the little tiny 210
No.
cold cranking amp batteries?
In what kind of mower? Like an MTD or what was it?
Yeah,
Well,
like
yeah,
the Cub
most of them.
Cadet, the X1, XT
Really?
ones.
I haven't really seen them because most people they ride them till they die and throw them out.
Okay, so what they've done is they put a plastic battery holder in underneath the seat, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And what it does is it reduces the size so you can slap in one of these little tiny stupid 12-volt batteries.
yeah.
And this machine's only like a year old, and the guy uses it during the winter with a snowblower on. So he just took the snowblower off and converted it back to his deck so he could cut grass. So the advantage of having a glass mat is you can leave this thing out in the wintertime and the battery won't
Oh, well,
freeze.
freeze.
Right.
Yeah.
But because they've got such a small battery in, we just put the charger to it and it took a full charge, but it's only got 87%. So now the guy says, I want you to get me a bigger battery. So now we got to go
Yeah,
and
now what, eh?
order the holder. So Jake gets a hold of MTD. Guess what? All
None
of
of
the
him.
battery holders, the straps that hold the battery, they're on back order because there's so many people converting back to the U1 batteries, the bigger
Oh,
370 cranking amp or 350 cold
Yeah.
cranking amp batteries, right?
Hmm.
So I don't know. I got to go to a guy's
Freeze,
place tomorrow. He's got the metal box.
it was
Right.
raised hydroponic.
Oh, that
Nice.
looks good.
Nice. I went yesterday. I went out to a. It was a dealership that had a big, what do you call it? Open. Come try all our stuff out.
Yeah,
Open
yeah.
It's a brand called Stiga. We have it over here. It's similar to MTD. But
Stika, yeah.
I tried an electric zero turn with a joystick.
Well,
Oh,
that'd
Wow.
be fun.
I'm telling it takes a couple of tries before you know how to go straight because I was
Yeah.
mowing like like this.
Well,
But,
when
but
we
once
all
you
get a little bit older, we'll have scooters and we can just go from the scooter to the lawnmower.
yeah, but I mean it's once you get the hang of it. I mean, and the noise. There's no noise. It is unbelievable.
Well, you know,
And
Eco's
and,
been
thi-
on a
and this thing
major advert.
in regular grass. I mean, I'm not talking bush high, but regular grass cutting height. It'll do an acre on
so
a
how
charge.
much was it?
Slightly expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like over here, they're like $7,000-8,000, I think.
Yes, yeah, and that would be the cheap version.
Wayne, is that what
Yeah.
you're talking about? Those
Yeah,
little
that
batteries?
kind of battery. That's
Yeah.
it.
They used
That's
to
what they're
use
putting in all the new Cub Cadets.
yeah.
And then you'll see it's got a plastic battery holder. If you take the plastic battery holder out, you could put the regular size batteries in. But
Oh.
then you also have to take the ends and cut the ends off and then crimp on, the proper connection for the different battery.
And then
Yeah.
they'll be too short.
They used those.
You don't have to cut that much off. And then don't forget the battery's getting bigger.
Right.
So the wires could be a little shorter.
They use those
Right.
batteries in those boxes of emergency lighting.
Yeah, yeah.
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 Yeah, and computer backups and all kinds of stuff.
Backups. Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
batteries are even in those jump starters. The packs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, my
Yes.
buddy works at
Numo.
Canadian Tire Acceptance, and he told me every year, and especially this all came about during the Y2K. Remember when all
Oh,
of the
yeah.
computers were supposed to go on the fritz?
Mm.
Right.
And they set a rule up that every year their battery backup system, which is all glass mat batteries, had to be switched out every year. So they get a company comes in with pallet trucks of new batteries, and then they take all the old ones, which are still, I mean, they're perfect batteries because
Yeah, they've never been used.
no, they were sitting there for a year. They never got used, but they had to get switched out. And then I don't know if they sold them, but my buddy grabbed me too, and I tested them with the tester, and they were like fully charged, 100% good batteries.
Mm. Hey,
Worth a lot of
Brett,
money.
I'm gonna drop out real quick. You come up for a few minutes, and then I'll come back.
So that's
Yeah,
where when sales and engineering runs over maintenance.
yeah, I got to get going shortly. I got to finish this inventory. I told Jake it'd be all done by Sunday, and I got to do all the belts yet. And what else do I got to do? Belts, bearings.
Do you use a software to keep track of your parts?
I use this, buddy,
Yellow pad.
Oh yes, sir.
and a pen.
Oh,
You know what?
all right.
Somebody's going to discover that and go global with
And
it.
then
That's right.
we got to talk. We've got a meeting with Jake's accountants, and we got to talk about putting in a inventory program into the
Yeah.
computer.
No, but I was
Who's
thinking,
going to set that up? That would cost a lot.
every time I need a belt, because I'm short on space, right? I can't hang up all my belts, so they in the big bucket thing, and every time I need a belt, I have to go through 80 belts to see if I have it. It
Well,
would be much nicer just to look it up and say, yeah, I have it, and then
Then start looking.
see, mine are all hanging up by section size and length. So
I hate people who have that kind of space.
yeah, so no, I got an outdoor shed, and on one wall I start at half-inch by 40, and I go to a half-inch by, I think it's 106.5 for a John Deere,
Yeah.
zero turn, and then in
Not
the
quite.
back of the shed I've got all the 3/8 and the half-inch shorter ones that normally go on snow blowers,
And
and
you
then
get
I got the
quarter-inch.
5/8 hanging off of shelves.
Big ones.
So I've got the wire rack shelves. I just bend up wire hooks and I hang
Somebody
all
turn
the
him
belts
off
up.
because he's making me jealous.
So
Yeah, and then
now
How do
I
you
want
solve
those.
the problem?
Oh, no,
You
what
just
about the
hang on
quarter-inch
to
ones
that
there,
in
Wayne?
your shed.
What's
to
that?
ask a legit question.
Yeah.
What's the shelf life on belts that sit there year after year, freezing hot, freezing hot, freezing hot? Is there
It
any
doesn't.
damage to those?
No, that's not going to affect them. What will affect them though is UV rays.
Yeah, sunlight.
Okay.
So
All
I
right.
keep
Yeah, because
so
you know
ours
what?
are
I've had 25-year-old lawnmowers that still have a good quarter-inch belt.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Sunlight
But
will kill
UV
him.
rays can affect the belt.
Moisture, and sunlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moisture's never a problem here.
I cannot.
So, anyways, close. All the air filters are in cardboard boxes, and each
Mhm.
cardboard box has the number of the air filter, and they're all sorted out by Briggs, Kohler, Honda, Lawn Boy, and they're
Dude,
all on shelves. So that
Yeah.
if I need one, I know what shelf to go to, and I can go to it. And I know, and then it even right now, because I'm doing inventory, I even put on how many are in there. Now, the
Oh.
only issue we've got is when we take one out, if we don't change that quantity number, right?
yeah,
Then I've lost track of everything again.
Yeah,
Wayne,
it's just I
that's
saw.
like every shop on earth. The technician just comes in and scoops
Oh
one
yeah,
off the
just
shelf.
grab the
Right.
part and let's go away.
No, but it's one of those things that I think. I mean, particularly when you have a shop that is constricted in terms of space and wall space,
Yeah.
you actually need that system more than if you have an overview of
Oh, of
everything.
course.
Well, at some point I'll film. Like I actually I welded up a bunch of 1x1 angle iron, 8-inch
Mhm.
thick, and made specific shelves just to take up wall space and store more stuff, so
Yeah.
that when you walk around, it's visible. You can see it,
Yes.
Yeah.
and you know you've got it.
Yeah,
I've got
and
on my
and
one corner of all my purchased stuff. I have
Yeah.
all of the belts
Yeah.
kind of sorted, not like you, but I've got I don't go to 5/8, but half-inch, 3/8,
Yeah.
quarter-inch, and then the evil John Deeres, which are never in there. They never have a standard size.
And then doing the inventory, I found that some of the stuff we've got, like I call it old stock now because it's no longer available. You can't buy it. And the other day, a guy came and he needed a specific cable that you couldn't get anymore. And we happened to have one, but I said, "Listen, buddy, it's a $46 blade engagement cable
Yep.
plus tax, but
Yep.
we got one."
Yeah.
But you can't buy it anyplace anymore. And he says, "Well, I need it." And I said, "You got it."
You got
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
You
No, but
got
I have the majority of my belts is purchased from a supply. It's actually the Oregon supplier in
oh,
Denmark.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and but they also do. They have a business on the side of Oregon, and they import their own belts,
Huh.
and they have their own number,
Right.
and so by sorting them by their number, and if I then get an OEM belt or if I get an Oregon belt, I'll just hang it next to whatever their number is. So it would be pretty easy. The only problem is I don't have the wall space,
Yeah.
That's
and
because you got too many nice tools.
no, it's because I have too much crap.
We all
I'm
have
I,
right there
crap.
with you.
I was going through my sort of inventory. I have 8 different kinds of penetrants in spray
Oh,
cans.
for sure.
Different brand, 8. I said, Klaus, you're an idiot. Why
That's
do you
called
need 8?
miscellaneous shop stock.
Yes,
Yes.
I get, but 8. You need 8 cans of penetrant.
Yeah,
Come
Well,
I
it's
on.
get.
because you get one, you lay it down somewhere, then you need it, so you buy another can, then you find the first one. That's me.
No, see what happens here is that I will register the need for buying a new can. So I find the brand I want. I buy 3 cans just in case.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
that's
And, and,
smart.
then, and, then, and then 6 days later, there's an ad somewhere that something is on sale. I'll get
Buy
three
more.
cans. Yeah, I'll get 3 cans. I mean, I buy Break Clean 36 cans a case to keep the
Wow.
price down. And so yeah, it's
so
I should go see my shrink. I'll be right
I was
back.
gonna say you have some other problem, Klaus. It's not that.
Yeah. So
so I got
so
all these beautiful cans of penetrant, and then I have this wonderful two containers of acetone and transmission fluid.
yeah.
That
So Paul,
is
I could tell you that our storage for our mower blades, it's great if you could hang them up, but I don't have like close. I don't have the room anymore to hang the blades
there you
up,
go,
and
Bruce.
we likely
Yeah, 50-50.
carry. I'm going to guess I've got in storage. I've likely got 300 blades, and where they're stored is it's about 5 feet long. It's about 3 feet high, and it has plastic trays in it that are about 20. I think they're 23 inches long.
Oh, that's
And on
good.
the front of each tray, I put green painter's tape and I write the numbers of the blades that I've got stored in each tray. So I'll have like, I don't know, I got maybe 20 blades, I think 20, close to 20 or 15 to 20 could go in each tray. And they're all numbered. So when we need a blade, we go and look for and all our blades, normally all our blades are coming from Stens. The odd
Right.
one from, the odd one comes from Briggs and Stratton if they're specialty and they don't get sold by Stens, but they've all got the Stens numbers on them. So when I get a part number off of an IPL, I just look at what the Stens number is and go and look in my trays. And normally we got the blades in. All I know is when we go out and we get a repair, Jake says, first thing Jake always says to me is,
Pick a blade.
nice to have parts, eh, Dad? And I
Yeah.
said, yeah, buddy,
So,
in
I have a
and
question.
out.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is it good? I had a friend who had a business. It was a general store, and I never knew if it was a good thing to have lots of inventory or if it was a good thing to have less inventory at tax time.
Okay. According to Canada Revenue, they don't want your inventory increasing. They like to see your inventory decrease annually. But in order to do a 1 to 2 day service like Jake does,
You
you
have
got
to
to
have
carry the
inventory.
inventory. So what we have is every customer we have a part that might need. Like I'm talking cables, blades. I'm not talking pistons and
Yeah.
rings and all that. I'm just talking
Yeah. You're
about
talking
like
tune-up stuff.
yeah, like air filters, we've got it. Blades, we've got it. Spark plugs, we've got them. Like I got every spark plug there is likely in the shop.
Hmm.
Like Brian from Five Star just come over and he says, "Hey, you got BPR 7ES?" I said, "Yeah, I got 8. Yeah, I need 2."
Oh,
Another guy calls. He says, "I need a BKR 5E." I said, "I got 6." He says, "I need 2." So like we've got it now.
nice.
We don't make a lot of money when we resell the spark plugs. We're making like 50 cents on a spark plug.
Yeah.
Now, do
It's,
they ever
the
come
money is in having it,
in
Wayne.
they
Yeah.
ever, do they ever come in inventory you?
Well, this is what I okay. So now this is
Oh,
what I got to ask. Like any of our, for 12 years now, we've been audited by, I think just once, maybe I think just once we were audited by the Canadian Revenue Agency. Now that Jake's got new accountants, we got to check with them. We're doing this inventory. Do we need the inventory audited? I don't think so.
Hmm.
Right? But these are
Yeah,
chartered
what a good way
accountants
to
that he's
hurt.
got working
A
for
good
him
way to
now.
hurt small business.
Yeah. Like it's not like we're not doing $1 million worth of business a year,
Yeah. One more question. I
Yeah.
got that real nice. It's an older one, John Deere LX 178 with the triple blade Piranha deck.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think I think the blades are 15 and 5/8 or something weird, right?
Yeah.
Now I can get them imported, or I can get them from John Deere. It's a difference of like $60 to $120 for the three. Do you know if the importeds are any good, or should I just bite the bullet
Now,
and get the good ones?
the ones you've got, are all three blades the same size? Because some of the
Yeah.
triple blade ones, the center blade's
Yeah.
shorter.
No, the Piranha's all three the same.
There's a brand from Rotary called Copperhead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of those. Yeah.
They're good blades.
Get those.
Okay, thank you.
They're good blades.
Super
Because you don't
blades.
know if you're buying wing wang or not.
Yeah,
What kind of quality you're going to get, right?
Well,
I
the
mean,
only thing I could say about that I learned was my snapper self-propelled mower takes a Ninja blade, which is an X blade. It's like not a full X like this. It's kind of like, you know what I mean, an X like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I understand.
like the
Okay.
Hondas. Like
So
the Hondas.
It's like
Yeah,
that.
so Jake ordered the OEM Ninja blade for the snapper,
Yeah.
and we had a guy bring us a mower that had that Ninja blade on it. And I called him up and I said, "Hey, buddy, I got to, you wanted me to sharpen and balance this blade for you." I said, "It's totally shot. Like I won't touch it. It's too thin. It's gonna, pieces are
kill
gonna start
somebody.
flying off." He said, "It can't be. It's brand new." He actually came down to look at it. He had bought that on Amazon, and I don't know why, but the one I put on that's an OEM Ninja, that thing after a year looks as good as it did the day I put it on.
Well, you can
So,
imagine I'm just
and
using it
he
in the
paid
city in
like,
my
I
yard.
think he said he paid $80 or $90 on Amazon for that blade.
Hey
Now,
guys, I want to give Brett a few minutes because I'm trying to rotate people. I got people
Okay.
in the basement
Hi,
too.
Brett.
So,
Well, you
Hey,
know what?
Brett.
I got to get back to do inventory. So you want to bring up somebody else, Kenny? I got to go and rack
Hardworking
my
as
brain
always.
again.
And on a
Any fights
Saturday.
tonight, Hank? Or
Yep.
Wayne?
Yep, 7 o'clock they start. Chandler is fighting Patty Pimblett and Volkanovski and Lopez, I think it is, are the main event.
Ooh,
So
that ought to be
Chubby's
good.
coming over. We're going to cook up some hamburgers and gain a few stone, as Mick Smolers would say.
There you go.
Thanks, Kenny.
see you, Wayne.
Take care,
Okay.
Wayne.
Yeah. So
Okay, there you go, Brett. Sorry, bud.
I have probably seen the worst, and I mean worst, case of damaged blades on an HRN Honda this week. Guy brought one in. It was for the low-income housing up in the north end of town. They affectionately call it up there food stamp camp, but that's a little derogatory. Anyway, they brought this mower in. They said, can't get it started. Go ahead and get whatever it needs. So I'm like, okay, well, I knew it wouldn't start because the gas in it smelled like armpits. So that was part of
I
it.
don't do that.
Get under the deck. Those blades literally had no air vein on the back of them.
Oh,
I
No
mean,
lift.
they were cracked. That was gone. I'm like, this is
Yeah.
not leaving the shop like that. And I said to Butch, I said, they said that's the boss. I said we'll do whatever it needs. So I got it tuned up and everything, and I said we got to order these people blades. I said I'm not letting this thing go out as a safety hazard.
Right.
We got them in, got that on there. She fired up and run one pull. And then I had one of your favorites today, Bruce.
The Tecumseh?
The Quantum.
Oh, yeah, they're so good.
The
Have you
auto
guys?
choke,
Have you guys?
quantum on a real nice Craftsman front wheel drive. No start. It would start and die. Got looking around in there, and I knew there was carburetor on that, but as Stella would put it, the fiddle fairies had been in it because they had the auto choke thing all screwed up.
Right.
And
Have
I got
you?
everything together. That thing fired up one pull. Had a pretty good bit this week.
Good.
Yeah. Have you guys ever seen a blade where the air wing on a blade has
The
been?
lift. I call it the lift.
Yeah, the
Same
lift.
blade,
No,
same blade.
that's a Honda, isn't it?
No.
No, it
No,
isn't. Oh, it looks like a two-blade Honda,
that-
but the blade
that's
on
a
the left is an old blade. Oh my
yeah,
god.
same exact brand and model of Toro blade, but that's a before and after.
Oh
Yeah,
my
but
god.
see,
That blade on the left kind of looks almost like what I took off that HRN.
Yeah. The one on the right is the exact same part number, brand new.
Wow, that's beautiful.
14,
Now, does
14
that got
years
the?
old.
Is that a Gator?
No, it's a Toro, just a Toro high lift blade.
No, I
But
mean, does it have the teeth on the
it's
airlift?
got the mulcher tips on the end.
Yeah.
So the recycle, it's called the recycler blade. The
Yeah,
Toro.
Toro recycler. Yeah.
have you guys ever seen blades where the high lift vane on the blade
Hmm.
is riveted on?
Yeah, Snapper does that.
Snapper, yeah.
Okay.
Well, Snapper attaches them with bolts, usually with bolts.
Can you replace them then?
Yeah.
Yes. Because you could use the blade without the wing for the ultra high lift or with the wing.
We have that brand over here called Clippo, which
Yeah.
is a really old famous brand for mulching mowers, all aluminum decks and all. But at some point in their history, they decided they needed to create a bagger Clippo that could bag rather than,
Yeah.
and their fix was that the blade has these vanes riveted on the blade.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, all right.
Yes.
that kind of
It's
looks
actually
almost
built-
like the. If you remember the old Jacobsons, that had a great big. They didn't have a blade; they had a big disc on it that had 4 teeth that bolted to the disc.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Clippos run.
it's
Two
almost
of
like,
them teeth
Yeah.
had that little air vein, like what
it's almost like a
Ken did.
small flail.
The
Yeah.
UK still has those.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you see them on Clippos too. It's a big square plate that bolts onto the shaft, and then it has these little blades that
It's like
swivels.
razor blades.
Yeah, that swivels, and it does a great cut. It really does.
Hey,
Quite
John,
amazing.
John wanted to show us what he's cleaning a deck, I guess.
Why is he
Wait do you see? Hold on. He's got the before picture. Hold on.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
Where it's got the no, all the stuff on the ground.
Oh yeah.
There's enough for about 4 decks,
That,
Bruce.
Yeah,
there's
Looks
compost
like a
right there.
bone.
Free compost. Woohoo!
That's called broccoli, you guys.
Yes,
Yeah,
broccoli.
Bruce, he calls it broccoli.
Yeah, the
Right.
I used
Yeah.
my Taro broccoli scraper today.
You know what? If
I-
anybody uses broccoli, that was from my father-in-law.
Mm.
I
Hey,
made
Brett, I'm
my-
going to kick you down because I got Bob in the basement wanting to come up.
Okay, that sounds good. I'm going to
All
go
right,
get
thank
some
you.
dinner.
Nice seeing you, Brett.
Good seeing you guys
See you,
again.
Brett.
Bruce,
See you
welcome
later.
back,
Maybe
buddy.
see you on Archie's later.
I'll be around.
This has
All
been
right.
good for me.
Welcome back,
I've
too.
really been quite lethargic about getting out to the yard, so this little conversation is really making me want to do it later next week.
Hey, Bob.
Bob,
I think you got something else on, Bob, a YouTube or something else is on.
What's going
Yeah, it's
on,
YouTube.
guys?
Turn the sound off your YouTube.
Bob, you
You
got
got something
YouTube.
you got to switch off the YouTube, Bob.
Turn
Yeah.
off YouTube.
Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. I'll see what I can do.
yeah, and something really weird happened to me earlier. That's why I had to go away.
Hey,
All of a
stop.
sudden, Wayne was talking, and he was talking, but everyone was frozen.
is that right?
Bob, just
I
mute the
actually
YouTube. Where you have YouTube on, just hit mute. That's all.
Or you,
I'm
Bob.
working on
or
it.
you
got-
can mute him.
Kenny, you got
It's pretty distracting.
Scott is out in the chat.
I'll be right back, you guys. I gotta kick something for my tooth.
Right. I actually.
Got in the beer.
For my tooth. Like, whoa.
I don't know how to do this. I'm trying.
think it's all right now.
Yeah, I think it works now.
What's going on, Bob?
I forgot how to do it.
That's all right. I think you're all right now. How's it going? Everything all right? Oh, he's back.
No, it's still there.
Hold on, I'm
Echoes.
coming back. It's still there, ain't it?
Yeah, wherever you have YouTube on, you just have to mute that part of it. What's Scott saying here?
Hey.
Yeah, but I don't know how to do that.
Just the volume control. That's all.
If Scott wants up, Penny, you can drop me down.
Oh.
Right.
Uh-oh. We lost Bob.
All right. Yeah, I just saw Scott out there. He may want to come up. You got the link out?
Boom. In fact, I was using Scott's spark plug silicone tube installer thing today.
I bought them on Temu. Don't tell Hank.
I know. I love those things, especially the long ones. They work really good. Every time I'm installing an RC12YC, I have to use one.
You want something to cry about, boy?
Yeah, but just remember though, next week the $1.50 thing's going to cost you $2 or $3.
Yeah, it's still okay. It's still okay. I mean, from 15 cents to 30 cents, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
It's not going to kill anyone. But I will say they work like a charm. They really do. I mean, I think we've all done it and cross-threaded a spark plug and then just went to town because you got all that leverage and ooh, not good. Back out. And this thing you can just twist it and it goes, oh, that's not good. Back out. And it's so nice.
Do you guys ever use these?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I've got a few of those actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've got two of those different sizes, and then I have the back tapper.
I have a really nice American friend who sent me the back tapper.
Nice.
Yeah.
I tell you, it saved my ass a few times.
Oh yeah. I mean, that thing has already paid for itself.
I had one guy who stripped the crap out of the first 3 or 4 threads trying to put a plug in. That back tapper is the cat's ass, boy.
Yeah. Put a little grease on it and nothing falls into the engine. Really nice.
What's that for? That looked interesting. Sorry.
Yeah. Scott, get your behind up here.
You got you had an anodized connector of some kind.
No, this is a spark
chaser
plug thread chaser. It's got a 14.
I thought you made one of those.
No. I bought this. It's got a 14 on this end and 18 millimeter threads on that end.
Nice. You got to turn on your mic and your camera, Scott. There we go. That's better.
Yes, his ugly face. Hello, Scott. Hey.
Hey, Scott.
How are you?
Half a day today, Scott?
I didn't have to work today.
Oh, nice.
Oh, a half a day is 12 hours.
Right. Yeah. So I was listening in, and you guys were talking about the more blades and that lift on there. And that comment I made was, I worked for an old timer, 50 years ago, and we had these Yazoo lawnmowers. They were
I remember that.
Yeah, 3-wheel tractors on a front mount deck. We had 60 and 72-inch decks, and we used to line the inside of the deck shell with expanded metal so it wasn't smooth, and then put a big, maybe 3-inch long by 1 inch high extra wing on top of the lift of the blade. And just grind the piss out of leaves.
Oh, wow.
Just grind them down to a powder.
Yeah.
Well, that Piranha deck that I've got on there, they're all high lift as well, and it does a great job of shredding.
Yeah.
Piranha. Is that the one where the blade turned in opposite direction?
No, it's a
Well,
three.
they all do the same.
You know, on a mixer, like if you're going to crush ice or something. Well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It has like a 3 cutter.
Yeah.
And it spins.
Well, if it isn't John.
Hi, John.
Hey.
You're looking good,
John.
guy.
How are y'all today?
Well, now it just got better. You showed up.
Well, I was daydreaming for a second and I got slapped on the camera, I guess.
That was Stella. All of a sudden, Stella disappeared and you appeared.
Oh, she didn't have to drop down because of me.
No, you can drop me down if she wants to come back up. No problem.
I can't stay long. I got to finish up this lawnmower for this little old lady. So I just want to stop in and say, hey.
Now, do you charge extra for cleaning the deck?
Well, I don't charge this little lady anything. Yeah. She's 80 years old. This lawnmower is her life. She does yard work every day. So she called me up day before yesterday. John, yes, ma'am. Are you busy doing a lot of lawnmower stuff right now? I'm like, no, ma'am. I've about finished up what I had this week. Well, you reckon there's any way you can come over here Monday or Tuesday and get my baby and take it to your house and service it for me?
Isn't that cute?
Now I can just see John goes over there and he gets a glass of lemonade and a order hush puppies.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh no, she knows the only time I ever drink a Coke is at her house. Yeah. She had my Coca-Cola waiting on me when I got there. But nice. I got it home, put it up on the lift, and I was like, oh Lord, 1 hour to scrape that deck. It was like grass concrete.
Yeah.
I almost got my air hammer out. It was that bad.
I hate when you scrape it though, and then you hit like the screws and stuff.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah. Or you hit a hard piece and the scraper flips it out into your face and hits you in the face. That's what happened to me. That's what happened to this face.
Yeah, I found that
big chunk
cake batter. When you're doing a fancy cake or something, you got those rounded.
Yeah.
Batter. I use those
beaters.
Yeah.
It's like the Taro one, but it ain't $39.95.
Exactly. Yeah, they work too because they're narrower. And you.
Did you used to lick the beaters?
No.
You didn't. My mom always turned it off at the last second.
I bought a really cheap scraper at some store, but it's got a stiff blade, and I just rounded the edges on the grinder. It works great. It does the same thing.
But what the Taro scraper is, it's thick on the handle side, and then it thins out.
Tapers down.
Yeah. It's flexible.
Yeah, it'll get around the corners. There you go.
This one.
Yeah.
And for the really tough spots, this one, the paint roller scraper.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That point comes in handy. I'm about to dole the point off. It's time for a new one. And this one just some
have rounded edges by now.
Piece of crap I got it, but it works fine.
Yeah.
Hey, Conker, what's up?
And if that didn't work,
Conker,
that picture's a slow speed.
Can you guys see that?
Honda.
Yeah,
that's underneath my Piranha deck.
Slow speed.
1.5 of the.
Yeah, but you got the quad blade, don't you, Bruce? Don't you have the quad blade?
Yeah. No, there's 3 sets of those too.
Okay.
Bruce, those are well worn.
Those are worn. They're not on the machine anymore.
Ah, okay.
You got to clean that deck. Oof.
Yeah, that's broccoli to the max, eh? So that's one blade there. Can you see that one? It's pretty square. And then the upper blade is rounder.
Yeah.
Now that came factory with 2 blades per spindle?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Those are the original blades, actually.
Huh. Who can answer Conker here? Because we don't have throttles on our Hondas. It's fixed.
No, but if you got Conker, if you got throttle control, the slow speed is the idle, and that is adjusted on the carburetor. If you there will be access to it. Trust me. You may need a long screwdriver, but there will be access to it.
Yeah, through a metal sheeting hole or something.
Yeah, I mean, usually it goes in from the back of the machine out to the front, and you can get to it. But there is,
I've got one of those screwdrivers with a little spring on the end where you can actually go 90 degrees with it. We used to use those to tune like Holly carburetors years ago.
Yeah.
Offset screwdriver.
Yeah. Kenny, if you want to drop me down for Stella to come back up, do that.
No, drop me down. I got to get busy on this mower. I enjoyed it. It was good seeing everybody.
Yeah, and it's good to see
I'll be
you.
listening. I just won't be able to comment or show my beautiful face.
Well, usually you're in the office where it's so black, all we see is your
Uh,
glasses.
uh, Mr. Bruce got jokes.
Love you, John.
He's hard not to.
Oh, I'm typing. I'm good in the basement. Now that I finally got my YouTube pop-up chat working because I realized that there was like 8 of them in the background. Maybe that's why my computer locked up because I had too many windows open. I'm like,
Sit down.
what is that one? I kept having to X out all the little pop-out chats. I had 8 of them open. It was kind of crazy.
Wow. I just got myself. I just got myself a new computer, and I'm telling you, I need a seatbelt for my chair here because
Yep.
it is moving really good. It's
Right on.
it's gamer spec. Somebody
Yeah.
told me to get it in gamer spec.
I've got
Yeah.
a gamer. I've got
Yeah.
a gamer, and it's great.
Yeah, yeah, for rendering
I play
videos.
games.
Yep.
mean,
Super
those kind of
high
games.
graphics capabilities.
Yes.
I was just counting the amount of cooling fans that's in this cabinet. I have right below here, 8.
Is it
When I
water
turn-
cooled
when-
as well?
No,
Okay.
no, I went for a double fan, regular heatsink on the processor. But I'm telling you, when I turn it on, there's a draft on my feet down here.
Good
I
for
mean,
you.
that thing is moving some air. It really is.
Nice. Congratulations. That's a big decision.
It was an expensive decision.
Yes, that means big.
You're
Well,
gonna
now
have to.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
I was just gonna say it moves that much air. Just keep an eye on the screens, wherever they're located.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
mine.
they'll clog
Mine's
up.
liquid cool, but it's got a big fan on it, and it draws
take-
from underneath.
Yeah.
And boy,
Right.
that thing picks up the dust.
I
Yeah.
take it out every 6 months outside, and I just give it some sharp air and all
Yeah,
stuff
that's-
like that.
That's more
Be
than
careful
most
if you
people
take
do.
the covers off because you can spin the fans too fast and blow them up, with the air.
Oh yeah. Ah, you got to.
You know, there's something else about shop air too. I was told that you could have a static electricity problem using
Oh,
compressed air.
absolutely.
Yeah, you can. I mean, the pro guys, they use compressed nitrogen.
Yes,
In-
and we had to
in-
use a static to ground workstation at work and have one on your wrist and have the station grounded, and then we were allowed to take stuff apart.
Yeah,
Have you
but
guys
still,
seen
the air-
these little handheld blowers they're coming out with now?
Yeah,
I
I
got
want one.
yeah, they're nice.
someone emailed
Well-
me they want to do a collaboration, but I'm not really interested. I don't do that kind of stuff on my channel, but I thought I might want to buy one just to try it. You know,
Well, I think Project Farm or somebody like that did one of those comparisons one time, and like the claims are outrageously, way higher
Are
than
they?
the real thing is.
Yeah.
So
is it good enough to clean your computer though?
Yep.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
so-
Probably.
Well, okay, let's say you're in the house though, and you want to change the fan or fix the fan in the bathroom, and it's been making noise for 10 years. You can get
The
up there.
little
and you can
Makita
tell that
ones
stuff.
are good. They blow just enough air to clean the driveway or something. Just enough. And Harbor Freight has the Brown ones.
John?
Bauer.
Yeah, they're only small like that.
Yeah.
Well, these
Well, the-
things are
the-
smaller than that, Hank. They're about the size of your mouse.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
Some of them.
just take
some
your
of them.
normal shop vac, okay, reverse it, and duct tape a straw in there. That'll
Just
do the
make
same
sure
thing.
it's not going to be a spark on there because that engine can generate a lot of static.
I don't think you're going to have spark coming from your shop vac.
Oh, yeah, the plastic builds up a static.
Right.
Really? Okay.
Air moving builds up static. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Well, I guess I've been lucky
But
then.
again,
Well, yeah,
But, yeah,
and
I mean-
stuff is
I mean-
made with a tolerance, right? Gary would know.
but again, blowing out a fuel tank. Have anyone ever had that caught on fire because of static? I haven't.
No, because we're still here.
We're still here.
We're all still here.
So is it possible? Yes. Likely? No.
No.
The smaller ones have that rubber end, not plastic. They have a
Yeah.
rubber end.
You can.
Yeah,
We had
my little
I've used
Makita
machines
does.
that-
Yeah.
I've used vacuums that are labeled digital safe.
Scott, you can get them, Wuhan style, but they are for cleaning keyboards, computers, stuff like that, and they deliver just enough air to clean that.
So to
Well,
confess,
well,
Stella, I have used my shop air to do that.
me too. Me
Yeah.
too.
I'm
Yeah,
confessing.
they
So
got one about the size of a hair dryer, and
Yeah,
Christina
yeah,
Mary.
the front of it is a
I'm just
blower.
going to mention that they've had
Take that
contact with them.
attachment,
That's all.
put it on the back of it, and
yeah,
it's a sucker.
yeah,
well, many years ago, I always heard that it was the moisture that comes out of the air from your shop
yeah.
compressor was the problem. I've never heard
Mhm.
about the static problem. But
Mhm.
again, why is it a static problem unless you're cleaning it out while it's still running? I mean,
Because a computer, particularly around the processor, does not. I have burned out a brand new Intel processor because I forgot to ground myself, and when I touched it, it just
Yeah.
went,
Well, that's static,
yeah,
though.
and
Watch
that's
out for the
static.
relative humidity being below 40% is especially worse.
Yeah,
right.
and it burned it out. I had to go buy another one.
Now,
Wow.
people use the little cans, the canned
Yeah,
air to
yeah,
Yeah.
clean everything,
yeah.
but there's a lot of moisture out of those things.
Yep.
No, but
There is.
that's chemicals, and that evaporates. It's not moisture. It's almost like brake clean. It
Right.
goes on and it flashes
Yeah, it
off,
probably has a little ethanol in it or something.
something like that. Yeah, but
It's because
the
it's so
cheaper
cold.
ones,
Condensation.
Scott, that you can get online or on Timu or whatever, they're not bad. They're really not.
All
They
I
do
said
work.
is, hey, Bill.
So I was just gonna pull up a picture of it so I could show Hank.
Right on. I want to see that. I'm into pictures.
Yeah,
No, no, no.
exactly. Oh
Oh,
yeah, oh
There
yeah.
you go. Yeah,
And
I,
I
I
mean,
got one of those. Yeah,
he's got
and
two of them.
you take the front piece off, and you can put it on the back, and you could use that as a vacuum.
Huh.
Yeah,
Well, would that all that dirt go through the fan blades?
Yep.
yep.
Yeah.
Which reminds me of a story.
Ah!
So a guy brings in an Eagle handheld leaf blower, battery powered, right? He says it smells like something's burning. It's making a little bit of noise. He turns it on, and this thing is just screaming. And I shut it off, shut it off. And I don't know how long he'd have to run it before it would smell like something was burning from the plastic rubbing on it. But the fan blade, something went through it, broke one fin off, and then bent the shaft of the motor, and it was just wobbling in there,
Yeah.
beating on the housing. I can't imagine how long he had to run it before he smelt the burning plastic and
yeah.
decided he should shut it off.
They do come with filters. You put a filter on there, it comes through.
Right.
Some.
This one didn't have a filter.
No.
I had a guy who called me. He lives just outside town where I live. It's about, I don't know, 15-minute walk, 10 minutes on a lawnmower. And he calls me up and says, Klaus, my tractor, there's something wrong with the wheel. I said, no problem, bring it in. He says, okay. Can you come get it? I said, no, I don't do pickups. So okay. So he comes driving
The mower.
the lawn tractor,
A unit.
and the front wheels are like this. He is
Oh boy.
he's missing the thread on the inside of one wheel. I said, wasn't that difficult to steer? He goes, yeah, it's been doing like that for a while. I said,
Yeah.
okay. So and the guy he has to drive on tarmac to get here, and it's a 10-minute ride. And I'm telling you, on the inside of that wheel, there was no thread. It was
Gone.
fixed.
Well, not if it's like that.
It was like that. I mean,
Be
he
like
ran
tennis.
into something and he bent the whole front axle. You know those the cheapo.
Yeah, they have like little angle iron tie rods basically. So
Yeah.
there's nothing really for
So
it. Yeah.
so he comes
Stamp.
in and he plows. I have a gravel driveway. He
Oh, boy.
plows,
He drags that into there.
and I'm kind of like, okay.
Actually, it's not funny.
Oh, I'm sure it's not funny at all.
What
He
would
should
you
have
like
gone backwards. It would have straightened out the wheel.
That's right.
to do? This guy. I mean, if you drive your mower for a 10-minute drive on tarmac with a wheel going like this, there is no helping you.
But
Yeah,
there's gifted
you
people that aren't.
are a lost cause.
There's gifted people that are not technical.
I
No,
hope
there
he's
are.
gifted somewhere else. Really, I
Yeah, one of
really
my
do.
best friends that I grew up with, he's so good with people,
Yeah,
and he's not technical. So, but,
yeah.
That's
But
what
no,
puts
it's
food on the table, right?
yeah,
yeah, exactly.
he worked with
But
the
yeah,
public for 40 years.
he's the guy who came down to me for the first time with his same tractor, and it smells like dog shit. And I tell him there is no way that tractor goes into my shop until it has been bleached all over. I mean, so you can do it or I can do it. If I have to do it, I'll charge you. And he goes, but do I have to take it back? I said, you can clean it on the street if you want to, but if you have a pressure washer, what's that? Oh, oh.
He
Uh,
doesn't. Oh boy.
I tell you what, this is what I charge to clean it, and it'll smell brand new when I'm done with it.
Gifted hands here, folks. Gifted hands.
Yeah.
What are you working
Gary,
on
what
there,
are you
Gary?
working on?
That's the back end of a compressor or a generator.
Yeah, I
That
know.
is this is a Honda ES 6500 from 1989.
Oh, they
Sweet.
don't make them like that anymore.
They don't make
Nice.
them like this anymore. No. So, unfortunately, I did not record a lot of the repair, so I had to change the end bearing. But even before that, this whole power head was off, and there's a water. I'm sorry. There's a timing belt and a water pump on the other side of the machine, but behind the power head here is the oil pump seal, and it was leaking because it's all brittle. I had to take the whole power head off just to change that out. And now
Right.
I'm putting everything back together and slowly but surely making progress. But
Was
the
that on the
amount,
output shaft, on the tapered output shaft on the engine?
it is a tapered output. Yep,
Yeah.
I did take some video, but I did have to.
Lovely in shape. Oh, look at that.
It's incredible. Like this guy, it's an immaculate. Even the timing belt and the water pump are original, and there's no dry rot on the timing belt. And where he lives, a squirrel as much as farts, and he loses power for days. So this thing does get used, but it's in immaculate shape. It just may
He
not
takes
look like
good
much
care
right
of it.
now.
No,
He
he
does take
obviously
very
takes
good
care
care
Oh,
of
it's
it.
of it. Yeah.
beautiful.
It's not very clean power. It's like 20% THD at full load when I measured it. But look, it's
Right.
got this massive radiator here, and it's the same engines that are in the Honda 4514s and the 3813s. But yeah, very. And this thing, this petcock valve, I was going to put in a $5 one because the shaft here started to leak and they're riveted in. This one part from boats.net costs $72.
Whoa.
Holy schmoly.
But we're
Uh-huh.
looking at a $3,000 machine there.
Yeah, back in 1989.
Yeah.
Right.
Nowadays, if you get them and they're in good shape, then they're probably like $500-$600.
Well, exactly.
But the amount of work that has to get done just to change the seal behind there is just. It took me a good 2.5, 3 hours alone just to take it apart. Now, as I'm showing this to you guys, I'm looking at the pictures on my phone, so I know how all these wires go back together.
Yeah. Of course.
But very much, even the capacitor here is still good.
So Gary,
Very good shape.
that wasn't very clean power on that generator.
It is not. No,
That for computers and such.
I would not run computers on this.
No.
So is there such a device as a filter that you could put between that generator and your electronic devices?
It's called a load and line reactor, and that weighs a couple 100 pounds.
It's like a big
Not,
battery. Just about.
yeah, it's not worth it. The way that you have to buy an inverter generator if you want to have clean power. You cannot clean up a dirty power generator.
Nope.
What about a backup power supply for a computer? Can you power that and run your computer off the? I don't know if all them power supplies, if they work.
They're
off
not all the same.
line
You need to
voltage
get
or-
what is called a double conversion or an online. Basically, the input side, the 120 volt input is constantly charging the batteries, and all your loads are always on the inverter and battery setup. The charger has what is called a passive power factor power supply, meaning that it's got a large inductor and a capacitor in line, so it actually filters out the high THD. They don't. Those types of circuits don't care how high the THD is because they're just going to convert AC over to DC to charge the batteries.
And what did you call that unit?
What about
A double
just
conversion online.
What about just plugging a UPS into the generator, then plugging your computer into the UPS?
Because again, it depends on the topology of the UPS. So the most common that you find is a line interactive, meaning that it has an input 120 volt. It goes into what is called an autoformer. It's basically a transformer with multiple taps. So if your input voltage is low or it's high, it'll switch to a different tap to keep the input voltage within its certain range. However, the THD messes with that circuit, and it will constantly switch between the incoming power and the batteries. And in high THD generators, it's always going to run on the batteries. But the charging mechanism inside there is not powerful enough in order to keep the batteries charged while you're running at full load or any load at all. It's only meant to charge the batteries in case of a backup power failure.
Right.
So that's why you need a double conversion and an or online version.
Right. It just gives you enough time for a graceful shutdown, I think is the term.
That is correct. Yep.
Hey, Gary, I got an information for you from Mexico.
You do?
Yeah, well, it's still happening. We were element heating and things that run straight off the AC coming into the condo were failing. But things like computers that you plug the little adapter into the AC and then it converts it to 9 volts or 5 volts or whatever, right?
Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So our crock pot died.
Oh boy.
Things like that. So I took my little meter and the input voltage from the commercial AC was 137 volts per leg.
That's very high. Yep. Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking, that's crazy. So I went online, and it's in Mexico. They have 127 volts per leg, so it's not 240. It's
that's right. Yep.
I did not know that.
Yep, 127. I actually have an APC power unit that actually can regulate at 127, 120, or 100 or just 110 volts. But it's got a range of 6% above the center voltage or 11% below it. There is a wide range according to NEC spec, but most if you have a digital power supply, then it will. You could go as low as 100 volts all the way up to 240 because it's going to adjust based on the input voltage. But the old linear power supplies, they're going to have some problems with that.
You're the man.
Yeah.
So anyway, we can't do anything about taking it from 137 to 127 because there's nobody there to tell the story to. Hable inglés, señor? No.
Hable inglés, señor.
Anyway, it was interesting for me.
Oh, I believe that.
That, or unless you had a big old roll of copper wire, you could have maybe done something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, with an autoformer or a line interactive UPS.
So that was on the breaker panel coming into the unit, and then I went downstairs, and they had a plug-in right beside the big green transformer, and it was 130. I just got to it, right? An unlocked door, and it was 137 leaving the transformer downstairs.
How the heck can you work on the ground like that, Gary?
I'm on a pad that Ken gave me.
He's young.
He's young. That's it. I was thinking.
I just turned 40. I just turned 40.
You're 5 years younger. Yeah, you're 5 years younger than my daughter.
No.
If I was down there, I'd be there all night.
And Mick's a year older than my daughter.
Working on the floor is easy. It's getting back up.
It's getting back exactly. Getting back up.
That's why I bought that motorcycle lift right there in 2009.
Yeah.
Lifesaver.
Oh yeah, no, I'm still able to do that kind of stuff. Although the next time I see this generator is likely going to be when I have to change the timing belt and water pump. But if it's still going strong, and this was made in 1989, and he uses it during the hurricane season like quite a few times, if it's in that good a shape, I did get some videos, but I didn't. Like I said, whatever I am going to be able to video record is probably going to be abbreviated. But
what kind of a spark plug is in that? I did one. It was exactly the same age, and it was a really long necked thing.
I might actually have it because he wants me to. He wants me to
Just
actually change
curious.
it.
Yeah.
It is. Well, the oil filter is in Oregon 83-301. Actually, I don't. Sometimes I think it's I don't remember exactly which one, but to get to those, they're right here.
Oh yeah, it's a nice
They're right
machine.
here. Oh, it's beautiful.
I have never seen a generator with a water cooled radiator on there.
You're not going to find one. The oil filter's right down here.
Yeah.
The cylinder, the spark plug's right here. Get access to, and then what is missing right now, that's just the top of it so I can get access. I had to take the whole frame apart. That actually is hinged, so it opens up. But, and then the battery goes here, and then the air filter sits underneath that. But, like I said, part of it's still kind of wiggly here until I put all the stuff back together. But now that the end bell is done, I probably will have to, there's no fuel in it or anything like that. It's empty. But it's a very well-built machine. I was kind of dreading working on it, to be honest, because that head is about 140 pounds. It's not easy to move.
The head on the generator.
Yeah, the head of the generator. The stator alone is over 100 pounds. But the spinning rotor, I did wind up getting, let's see. This place is a bit of a mess, guys. Sorry.
You're busy.
I've been...
That's a lovely machine.
As long as you know where everything is.
I do know where everything is. It's controlled chaos, but... wait.
It is not a mess.
It is not a mess if you know where everything is. That's right. Yeah, that's whatever's left. That's the part number for the end bell bearing. But...
so that's what you had to replace?
That's one of the things I needed to replace. Oops.
And the seal.
Let's see. Yeah, I'll show you the seal. Hold on.
Won't break your camera.
No, I didn't have it tightened. Here, look up this. Well, you have fun with this one. Look up that part number, and tell me if you can find it any cheaper than 72 and change.
16950ZA0023. Somebody else got to put that in. 16950Z80023.
You guys are too fast.
Sorry. Yeah, you guys are way faster than me.
I got to minimize my screen yet.
And then, so
Gary, I might have missed the first part. What led you to realize that the bearing needed replacement? Was it like noisy? Was it not producing adequate power? How was it that you decided that? Oh, no, I know that, but you only know that when you take it apart. What made you go in to replace that?
Because I had to take the power head off.
Gotcha.
Because so when I took the power head off, it's at the end, you pop it off, and then I just spun it.
Yeah, so you didn't go in there to fix that. You went in there to fix something else, and while you're in it, yes, that's
Murphy's Law.
No.
No.
Is that on the? No, hold it. I gotta ask. Is that on the engine or is that on the?
That's on the end of the rotor.
Oh.
It's pressed on the end of the rotor.
I know. I understand now. Yeah. So
it's over here.
If it was in the engine, you wouldn't be able to spin it.
Correct. Yeah. So I got that. Can you guys see me? Okay.
That's the common wisdom of dealing with any classic or antique while you're in there. Just replace it all. It's another $8 bearing. It's another $8 seal, whatever. Yeah.
Well, let's see. This was 37 or 39 for this. But then, it's spicy.
I would go to a bearing store, not Honda.
Well, I couldn't see what it was. And now that I can look, it is sorry, guys. 6205RU.
You should have asked Ken. He knows where to get them cheaper.
I know, but this guy's very particular. He would rather spend the. I mean,
He'd rather
he's the
spend
one who
money.
he okayed me to buy. He wants the OEM parts. He okayed me to buy that $72 petcock valve.
Okay.
In any event, this was the seal that I had to replace. It's behind. It's very brittle at this point. It was leaking.
Right.
There, so this is the one that was leaking, and what was happening? It wouldn't leak when it was warmed up. When it cooled off, it started. He had a pool of oil on the bottom of the machine, so it was leaking from here. And then it's the housing. So you have this seal, and then you have another O-ring seal where the actual the oil pump is. So I changed that, and then right here is another 9mm O-ring seal that I replaced. I just replaced all three because just to get access to it is such a pain.
Time, Ken, is $5 each.
Here's
$5.
Kenny. Thanks, Kenny.
I said it's boats.net over in Georgia is one of the main Honda places that I used to get all these kinds of parts from, simply because they're OEM, they're from Japan. But like I said, they work well. But it's a very nice machine. Like I said, I was so scared of trying to get that rotor off, but a quick couple hits with the 5-pound sledge and I was home free. And there's no corrosion. There's absolutely zero rust on this machine. That's the other part that makes things a lot easier to swallow. It was just once I had that power head off, I found that the bad bearing was there and might as well have changed it out. But yeah, it's doing a little bit here, a little bit there to get it done. I'm just at 37 feels like 28 outside. Just
Yeah,
I had
I
a
noticed
bunch.
those two little buddy heaters you got there going.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That's 20.
I was out 34 degrees in my driveway for 3 hours today working on a mower.
Oh yeah, yeah. I got it hooked up to my. I had to go get some propane today. I got a 20-pound propane running it with a splitter. I have them on low now because my garage is insulated. Once I get it warmed up, then it doesn't need a lot of power to keep going. But it's one of those things where it's good to have.
Yeah, I had one once and I got rid of it. I had a double element like that, but I went into a salamander a lot faster.
Oh, yeah, no, that's very. It was. I bought the one on the left was the one I bought years ago with my own money, and I'm like, hey, I needed to have it, and I bought the propane tank adapter, and because I don't use the 1-pounders, I wasn't camping or anything like that, but even that, you run that on high for almost an hour, and you're nice and warm. You run both of these on high, within 20 minutes of double bay garage is nice and toasty.
Huh. Yeah, because you're insulated. That's
exactly. But yeah, I had a couple push mowers I was working on. I tried sharpening. It was a Honda one with the double blade. Couldn't get the. I couldn't get it to balance it. The guy didn't change it in 5 years, so I said, well, $40 will replace both of them. Just save me the time.
cool.
But yeah, all's good. Haven't seen you guys in a while. What else? Anything new going on?
Time of year.
Yeah.
So I did a 3500 Honda.
Nice.
One of the first overhead valves, eh? It just reminds me so much of yours, right?
Yeah.
Just didn't fit.
Well, this is actually a motorcycle engine there.
Okay.
This is actually this engine was I think it's the GX 390. I want to say it's the early version of it, and it's actually a motorcycle engine. It was built. It was designed. Yeah, it's a motor. It was built by the motorcycle division of Honda back in the late 70s, early 80s. So they used that engine, the liquid cooled one, for a lot of their outdoor power equipment. But then, they went to air cooled engines, as you know. But you just don't see a 6,500 watt generator with a double cylinder liquid cooled. It's quite impressive.
It's only a 390 cc.
I think so. It's not that. It's only like 13 or 14 horsepower. It's not a very big. It's not a very big one. I don't know. I'd have to pull up the specs, but what I do know for sure is that the parts are extremely expensive. Like the water pump is right here, and water pump goes for about 140. The timing belt is about 65. The charging coils behind the flywheel are about 150. And again, these are designed to be long lasting, but another cool thing about these motors, they're non-interference. So if that
Yes.
thing jumps time, or if it breaks, you're not gonna blow it up.
That's
That's what I
what I
like
bought
about
with
these engines.
my last van before I bought this one. It was a non-interference engine.
Yep. They will not interfere with the valves, which is very good. I've heard a lot of stories on these particular engines where the 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 timing belts do eventually fail. They do stretch out, and they jump a couple teeth, and then they start running like crap, as you would expect. But they don't. People usually don't know what's going on with it. They figure that, oh, it's the valves, or it's bad spark plugs, or it's a coil. They think of all the basic stuff like an air cooled engine would have, not realizing that the timing belt has jumped time.
I had a Honda CB360 in the 80s, and I don't remember if it had I don't remember if it was water cooled or not. That might be the same engine. I don't know.
They call that engine the LC engine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
They said
called
it's
LC
I
engine.
out of this is the fourth Honda machine that this guy owns. He's got two 3813s and one 4514. Each of them, and now this generator, each of them have this double cylinder liquid cooled with the timing belt and the water pump setup here. It's very, very impressive on how well built they are. It's so laborious to actually get access to a lot of those parts. Like on the 3813s and the 4514s, if you've, I don't know, I think I have a couple of videos up there. All the front implements are here in the front, so everything has to get taken apart to get to to get access to everything there. So it's not easy to get to.
If you guys can see
Yeah,
this one,
that's an old one right there. Yeah.
yes, but this is the head does not bolt onto the engine. This head is driven by a belt. You can see the head is there and the engine
Yep.
is there.
Interesting.
That was a very interesting repair for me.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And it's about the same age as the one you got there, Gary.
Yeah. No, his 3813s are from 1986, and then the 4514s were from 1988, I think. He bought them all around the same time.
And this one's called an E3500, which is, I don't consider it E to me because it's probably just the coil that's electronic.
Yeah. No, this definitely is electronic ignition. It's a capacitor. It's a CDI. It's a CDI.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, Mick.
Anyway, thanks, guys. That was fun.
Yeah, they call me LC for liquid cool. LC.
Yep. It's
Oh.
I said, very impressive
that's
build.
too easy.
Yeah.
What's too easy?
LC for liquid cool. Man, I
Oh,
would have
yeah.
never thought of that.
Super secret.
I'm gonna go, and I've been working for much of the afternoon, so I just wanted to get that power head at least all buttoned back up because I still got to test it and put the frame back together before I start it up. But I think I've spent enough time today on small engine, but I got a
hear
lot
you.
done. You guys getting busy now?
Starting to be a smoke today, so it's kind of weird.
So I had four snow blowers in, have one more. I got the fifth one almost done. Got a zero turn.
I don't know what it is about my customers, but it's like they're
Immediate.
yeah, and it's one of those things I don't give a purchase on. I mean, if you have a problem with your machine, I will call you when it's ready.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can ask me, will it be ready tomorrow? And I'll go, no. Will it be ready Wednesday? No, it'll be ready when I call you.
Right. That'll just add another day. Don't keep asking.
Yeah, don't keep every time you call, you just add a day onto
that's
the.
right.
But
That's a
it's
good
like,
way.
even some of my regulars are getting a little more. My challenge is logistics. I don't have a lot of space to store machinery, so
Yep,
Right.
same here.
usually when I tell people you can bring it Wednesday and they bring it Wednesday, Most of the time, it'll be ready by Friday,
Right.
which they're used to.
In and
Oh
out.
yeah.
So because I planned it. I mean, it comes in, I fix it, it goes out, and another one comes in. So it has to be out by Friday. So, and people sort of misunderstand that for like, can I get it ready in 2 days? I'll go, maybe. I'll call you
Right.
Small
because
engine is not an on-demand industry, and if it is on demand, then you're going to be spending a very very high penny in order
yeah,
Right.
to
yeah.
get
No,
that
but
type of service.
most of the if it's just a belt or a tensioner or a set of blades, I
Mm-hmm.
have
Mm-hmm.
I have 80% of whatever comes in
Yep.
the door that I can fix right away. But if
Yep.
I need to call up Husqvarna or MTD or someone and order a part in, that's plus 3 days.
That's right. And especially if
And
you're waiting for OEM parts, it's gonna take longer too.
oh yeah, oh yeah, and but I just noticed that even some of my regulars, they're getting a little. Can you have it done by this weekend? I go, maybe. I'll call you.
It's worked out good that we have all this cold weather still because if anything, it's kind of delayed. I mean, I see all the lawn guys outside now doing the seeding and whatnot, and that's the next project I got to do as well. But they're not calling just yet. After Easter, that's usually when the calls
Uh,
start to flow in.
a shout out to Riley Boy.
Hey
Hey.
Riley,
Hey,
Happy
hey
birthday,
Riley.
baby. It was a couple days ago, but happy birthday.
Hey, happy birthday!
What he turns what 14?
14.
14.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
yeah. If there's anyone in the basement, can you drop me down
No,
and I'll
nobody left.
okay.
yeah.
What Hank? What?
No, it's 2 o'clock. I mean, 2 hours
Oh,
already.
yeah, it's actually time to quit
Oh,
anyway. All right.
oh,
Yeah, I got
oh.
to get going. I got to do some compression checks and some other stuff. So that'll be it for this week.
You
And
guys have you've motivated me today, guys.
Penny,
as always,
I will say that the new setup with only six up here, it works great. Thank you.
well, I
It's
said
good
we
stuff.
just have to make sure we allow time for people, and it's not that we're
Rotation.
trying to offend people. And like for
I mean,
example, if you come up and there's nothing going on, we're going to put you down,
I
and
mean, if you put me down, I will not get offended much. But still,
Not for
if
long.
I'm now, hold on. If a guy like Scott comes up, drop me down. I mean, honestly,
oh, I thought you meant put me down like you're ugly or something.
Yeah, hey, put me down, lady.
I'm the best looking dude here. So come on.
Oh, well, youth has
Shots
its.
fired.
All right, guys, that's it for this week. We will see
Take
y'all.
Okay,
care,
There's
guys.
this
everybody.
guy who thinks he's George Clooney.
Yeah,
Cheers.
I know. And thanks to